This is beautiful. I don't know if y'all where you're standing can see how many people are right here where we are, but this is really beautiful. My name is Damon. I am a teacher and an artist, and I'm the co-director of the Let Us Breathe Collective. And we at the Let Us Breathe Collective, we are a group or organization that is a group of activists and artists. So what we believe is that it's going to take creativity and imagination to recreate the world that we want to see. And so what I want you to know, what I want y'all to know, officers, is that Rahm Emanuel is not your boss, he's your manager. McCarthy is not your boss, he's your manager. This is your employer. Say hello to your bosses. And it's time to start acting accordingly. It's time to start acting accordingly. That these are the bosses that you have to respect. And if you don't act accordingly, we will accept your resignation. And if you don't want to resign, you will eventually be terminated.
Did they just fire the superintendent? Yes, they did.
When are they going to fire the mayor?
We are really excited to be celebrating some wins for Chicago activists.
Yeah, Chicago is going through quite a moment right now, and that moment needs to be harnessed and expanded.
Yeah, I think we're definitely in the midst of a social renaissance as well as a cultural renaissance.
Absolutely. So let's just list off some of the things that's going on. As we all know, Superintendent Gary McCarthy has been fired, and a lot of that has been to the work and the pressure that organizations that we are in direct coalition with have done.
Yeah, and as a result of activists, Let Us Breathe in coalition with BYP 100 and We Charge Genocide,
Asada's Daughters and Fly,
flooding the CPD board meetings every month for the past several months. Right before he was fired, he recommended the firing of Officer Dante Servin, who was acquitted of murdering unarmed 22-year-old Rakia Boyd.
Also, historically, for the first time ever, victims of police torture were awarded reparations in Chicago.
And the South Side is going to get a trauma center.
So to harness the energy of this movement, we aim to create a space for people to collectively respond to not only mass incarceration, but the police state that requires to fuel mass incarceration and the divestment from our social services in our communities.
So staying true to our name, the Let Us Breathe Collective, that aims to disrupt the status quo, amplify marginalized voices, and serve communities most directly impacted by police violence, we're gonna create breathing room. We're gonna give our people some room to breathe, where folks can get together to see some performances, see artists and activists creating together, as well as share strategies for resistance and get some basic needs met, like come through, get a meal, come through, get your laundry done, bring your kids, have childcare.
Maybe get a massage real quick, have some jam sessions, live African drums, and just harnessing the creative capacities that we have with the ability to connect people.
Yeah, and I think we're really intentional about collaborating with people who are directly impacted by mass incarceration and by the intersections of systemic oppression. So part of our mission from the beginning has always been to harness the power of the people, which is how we got started down in Ferguson.
Absolutely. And I think what I felt has been the greatest limitation in our work in organizing in Chicago has been the lack of accessibility for those we claim to be fighting for. Breathing room is so necessary because there are so many who do not have access to this work.
Let Us Breathe is always striving to remix activism and remix the protest.
So it's important to celebrate our victories, but to know that there is so much work still to be done and that there are so many problems that still need to be addressed. And in order to do that, we need to know what we're going up against and what it will take to take that down. And the first thing we need is people power. In this moment, there's nothing more needed than power, and there's nothing more powerful than people.